Hi, and welcome back to Dirty Brian's Garage. Today we're messing with a little mower here. This mower is approximately a 2000 Garden Pride. Yeah, I believe it is. Anyway, this mower belongs to a fairly new friend of mine. Her and her husband, both excellent people, young couple, starting a family, doing the right thing and everything. Of course, they didn't know anything about lawnmowers. They purchased this lawnmower before they met me, and they were hoping to, obviously save some money because, obviously, $300 doesn't grow on trees for a brand new mower. I found this thing on Marketplace. Unfortunately, the gentleman screwed him on this mower. Told him it ran good, told him all this and that, and it does not. For starters, you can see it from there. Blade's twisted bad. It does have a bent crankshaft. The lower seal's leaking on it. There's a big old dent in the gas tank right here, which does leak. These tanks are made of aluminum. They dent them that bad, and they will actually get a crack in them and everything. So unfortunately, they got taken on this mower. They brought it home in good faith and tried it, and I think they said they got it to run once for them. Of course, the thing was vibrating all over the yard and leaking gas and whatnot. Now, of course, after meeting me, they realized who I was and everything, and she asked me to take a look at this thing. Now, the thing that is with this mower is this mower's got a little nostalgia to me. Now, like I said, this is back in 2000, this thing approximately was made. Back then, I was the one with the young family. My kids in diapers and everything. I was still doing mowers, but I also worked at a box store. I used to assemble these mowers brand new. Assemble them, sell them, and everything. It's been so many years since I've seen one of these things, it's not funny. Now, this mower is not in perfect shape, but it's definitely savable. So I told her, I said, I'll tell you what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to refurbish another mower for you. I'm going to give it to you. And I'm going to keep this thing for myself. I want to play with this one. Because it brings back some memories for me. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing here. So let's go ahead and push this off to the side. Now some of you may remember few videos back, I picked up this old Craftsman. This mower was in a scrap pile and was slated to be scrapped. I ended up, I got it from the woman, and as a matter of fact, I fixed one of her other mowers for her and everything, and she gave me this one. Now this mower does need work, obviously. I mean, the wheels are kind of rough shape, well, the three that are there anyway, but I believe this mower is a good one. We're going to find out shortly. Give you a real quick walk around to show you what's been done thus far. So, here's the original handle that came off of this thing. It's been flattened. They over-tightened it. This side, we got a shoestring and some wire holding it together, which obviously didn't work. The bail cable is junk. So, but I just took it off. Now what I did here, this is an older MTD handle, but the cable is actually in really good shape on it. So I went ahead and I put that on there just for, I want to try this thing before we start digging into it. But I do have the bail working properly and everything. As you can see, I've not even cleaned this mower up yet. The pull string is kind of messed up here, but with any of these mowers, what I do, I'm obviously going to be taking the pull cover off and replace that and clean this thing up and everything. But today what I want to do with this thing, I want to hear this thing run. Now, I've never actually even attempted to start this mower since it's been here, but does have some oil in it. It's kind of dirty, but that's all right. We could change that. Yeah. Has some gas in it. I have no clue how. Doesn't smell all that bad. You know, I don't know how long this mower's been sitting. Like I said, they had it in a scrap pile ready to go to the dump. So, it did have the filter and cover when I did first get it. I was in a hurry one day for another mower. I just grabbed it. The filter was no good, but it was there. So anyway, what we're gonna do right now, I want to go ahead and I'm gonna give this thing a. We're gonna prime it, see if it'll actually even fire or do anything for us, and then we're gonna go from there with it. This could get interesting. The blade actually looks fairly, you know, it's not sharp, but it's straight. I don't see any bent crankshaft or anything to that effect. So, see if this thing will actually do anything at all. Okay, well that's kind of a shocker, guys. Normally you don't get mowers out of scrap piles that start right up. Okay. Well, I guess maybe it won't be as bad of a fix as we thought. And one thing I did notice on this thing, it's not vibrating, you know. Alright. Well, that was kind of a nice little thing to see. As you can see, the spark plug's been in it a while. You know, the deck is actually in good shape. It's just, you know, it's dirty. But we're gonna go ahead and first thing I'm gonna do is give this thing a bath, and then we're gonna go ahead and get it up on a stand. Obviously, change the wheels out and whatnot. We gotta clean these. You know, this has got the regular axles. Axle studs, whatever you want to call them. So we're gonna clean them up. I got a good set of wheels right in the garage for it. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and do that, and we'll go from there with it. And hopefully we can get her up and running again, and you know, mow some lawn. All right, so I went ahead. I just sprayed this thing down with a hose. I didn't bother even using soap or anything, but it's definitely much cleaner than it was. Kind of shocked to see that this dipstick tube's barely leaking at all. That tells me it probably don't have a ton of hours on it, hopefully. I can feel a little bit of oil under the muffler here where the valve cover is probably starting to seep, so we'll be taking that off, seal that up while we're there. But for right now, we're gonna concentrate on these wheels. You know, as I had said, this thing is just kind of ridiculous. The whole problem with it, Craftsman never has any shims in their wheels. And as I'd mentioned on other videos, the shaft here gets rusty, and that basically acts like sandpaper, and that just eats away at the inside of the wheel. So we're gonna go ahead and clean all these up nice. I have a good set of wheels off an older MTD. They actually have the steel shims in them. So once this is all cleaned and greased, this thing is gonna roll beautiful. I already did a test fit on this side. I cleaned up the thing, and you know, rolls pretty good. I'm gonna put the nut back on there. This side here, it kind of cracked me up even most. Had this big old washer on the thing, you know, on the axle, and I didn't know why. Well, that's because the hub is missing completely. Some people never cease to amaze me. They really don't. But that's up next. I'm gonna go ahead and clean the rest of these axles up, get these wheels on it. Then we're gonna go ahead and take the top end off the engine. Once I do that, then I'll take it outside and give it a nice better bath. So we'll be back in a little bit. Well, we ran into a little snag here. You know, I wanted to use these, I had this nice set of wheels with steel shims. Whole problem is they're actually too long for the shafts. They're to the point you couldn't even get a nut on there to tighten it. It's just gonna bind the wheel up. Luckily for me, I had to go out to the farm anyway and get that Tecumseh engine. I had 2 good wheels here. I knew I had the mates to them out there. Of course, luckily I found them when I was there. So these are gonna be the wheels going on it now. And instead of steel shims, I actually have bearings in them. So these things are gonna roll beautiful. So we're gonna have a nice match set of wheels like this going on there. Hey guys, I'm gonna get back on this Craftsman now. The other Craftsman that I just recently did with it, Tecumseh and everything, kind of had to come first because that was the only only mower the woman had, and you know how it is. Anyway, but what we got going on here, I thought I had a set of match wheels, but I don't. Now I remember it clearly. These are just 4 different wheels off 2 self-propelled mowers, you know. But we do have, we got some beautiful rolling wheels now. All these mowers, all these wheels are have the ball bearings with them. So now I didn't polish it, but I cleaned the deck up a little bit. Now I got the green light today on this, and I'm very happy over this. As you can see, this cylinder head and everything's just gross on this thing. These people actually have an electric mower that is they use during a drier weather. We got a couple dry days coming up. So what we're gonna do on this, we're gonna go ahead and pop this motor off here. We're gonna give this thing a coat of paint because this mower needs it. So that's where we're at with this one. I've stripped several quantums down on this channel already, so I'm not gonna bore you with all that. But what I'm gonna do here, we're gonna go ahead and strip this thing down, get a coat of paint on it. We got a couple nice days coming up and everything. We'll let it drip dry and go from there with it. Well, sorry there's nothing really exciting under here. I went ahead and pulled the shroud and everything off. The pull starter cup's rusted up pretty good. I'm gonna be pulling that anyway. I always check the flywheel key when I have these motors apart. But nah, I didn't find any good mouse nest or anything like that. Just your typical amount of grime and everything. I'm gonna go ahead and zap this carburetor off here after. We gotta give this thing a good bath before it even goes in for paint. So yeah, we'll clean this coil up and everything. I may even replace that. It's kind of iffy, but nah, there's nothing nothing really good to report here. But that's always a good thing too, though. So you know, I'd rather have this engine cleaned up before we send it off to the customer. So there we go. All right, so we got a little carnage video for you here. Nothing special. Yeah, she's pretty filthy under all the nonsense. So valve cover's leaking a little bit. Nothing major, but it's enough. You know, now is the time to get this. So yeah, we got. It's like I said, it's nothing all that special, but we get this all cleaned up, get this motor off, and get it off the paint, and then we're gonna start putting it back together again. Hey guys, well, sadly things did not go as planned. Anybody that knows these quantum engines knows sometimes the bolts get really stuck in them, and normally when they're stuck that bad, they just want to snap when you're trying to pull them. I wrestled with them for a couple minutes. I knew I was going to be in for a disaster, so I just stopped right there. So sadly, this engine's not going to get paint right now. I know a lot of people will put paper and stuff under the thing and paint it right on the deck. I hate doing that. I always get overspray everywhere, so I'm not. These people want the mower. I want it out of my garage, so we're just gonna leave it as is for right now. We'll deal with this at a later date. Anyway, but I did pull a muffler, got the valve cover all sealed up. Coil was kind of rusted up, so I went ahead and replaced it with a better one. I got the carburetor back on now. The carburetor is like brand new. I don't know if it's a replacement or what, but that thing, I mean, literally, I didn't even have to do anything to it. I did, you know, clean the jet out, but, you know, and I went ahead and cleaned up the starter cup and everything. It's the only thing I really got left now. I got to sharpen a blade, change the oil, and restring the pull starter. We're going to see this one out in the driveway here shortly. We're going to hear it fire off, and hopefully I can tell these people to come get it. Hey guys, all right, it's a finished product. It's not as clean as I would normally like them to be, but all things considered, I think we are a pretty good one here. Let's go ahead and give this thing a couple pumps of a primer and see if she's gonna fire it for us. Works for me. You know, I would have rather had a little bit of a cleaner deal, but all things considered, this is a mower that was actually gonna head to the scrap yard. It was offered for free in a scrap metal pile, and now it's gonna be up and mowing the lawn. So I'm happy with it. I want to give a special shout out to my friend Jessica. She's the one that tagged me in the post with this original deal. We basically saved 3 mowers. You know, we saved this one. There was another one a woman had that, you know, I ended up fixing for her and everything. And then now we got the Garden Pride thing there. That one's gonna be in a future episode. We're gonna make this one run again. This I guess this one belongs to me now. Which is just what I need, another mower. Oh well. But anyway, I'm hoping you possibly see this mower in a future video, because I would really like to pull the engine and paint it and clean the deck up a little better and everything. But that'll probably be over the winter at some point. I just don't have the time to do it right now. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and have yourself a wonderful day.